What is going on, y'all? It is your boy Quamon Star G, and welcome to the third chapter, the final part of this bit of Q and Friends, but part 3 of Q and Friends Talk Mortal Kombat. In case you need a refresher, on part 1, me and the good homie Mike, we talked about our favorite Mortal Kombat games. On part 2, we talked about our favorite Mortal Kombat character. Now we snuck into Kronika's keep, and now we've got her crown because that's important. And now we're using her hourglass because now we are looking into the future. Now we are looking into what we want to see in the next iteration in the new era of Mortal Kombat and want to get into it and express ourselves to the main degree. And in any case, if per the usual, and I'm getting this out the way now because we may get a little bit verbose, if you like what you hear, make sure you hit that like, that comment, and that subscribe button, and hit that notify bell when you see we go live, or if you want to see we go live rather. And I just want to let you know that I'm recording all this gameplay footage on a PlayStation 5, and that may or may not be true, but apparently YouTube's algorithm only really responds if you say you're playing gameplay on the PS5. So just understand that PS5, 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 PS5. But in any case, I'm going to toss it to the big homie Mike so he can let you know what he wants to see moving forward in the Mortal Kombat franchise. Mike, take it away.
What's up, Q? Thanks for inviting me again. I'm super excited to end off this series with this because for me, I do like talking about the future and also talking about what we would like to see. So I'm super excited. One thing that I'm really excited that's about to happen in the future is that we are getting a rebooted version of the Mortal Kombat movie. So like I'm super excited. It has been written by Greg Ruscio, and I am really excited because I've been following him just for like pieces to see if he posts anything about the movie and everything. And he did post while they were filming and just giving little set pieces. And from what I saw, the sets look really like the game and everything like that, and them being in different like areas of the world. So I'm really super excited about it. To talk about Greg, I'm really excited about it because I see him tweet about having the passion for screenwriting and going back and really digging deep into the source material of the things that he's written about. And to see him talk about the source material of Mortal Kombat, it gives me hope and makes me wonder he really might seize the opportunity with this reboot of the movie. So I'm really super excited. It's kind of funny because I tweeted him today and I asked him, I said, what is one thing you enjoyed about making a new Mortal Kombat movie? And he said, learning from a lot of super talented people across many different fields. So I think that was awesome that he responded. And I think his answer was as awesome as well, because I think when it comes down to it, teamwork makes the dream work, and you can learn from other people that you work with. So I'm super excited to see what him and his team will bring to life. But yeah, I'm really super excited because, like I said, I just been watching his account and just looking at him talk about, the stages of writing it and then also being on set and, bringing it to life. I really have a lot of hope and faith in what is about to happen. Plus, I'm super excited for the cast. The cast looks really, really great. And yeah, I'm excited about the movie. Like, really, really excited.
Same. As far as that concerned, about I'm 100% like really on board. Shout outs to the big homie Ludi Lin. Loved you as Zack in the 2017 Power Rangers reboot. Wish they would be continuing with y'all's story, but I digress. Also dope in Aquaman as well. He's playing Liu Kang. Definitely excited for that. Shout out to Makar Brooks. Y'all know him from Supergirl as Jimmy Olsen, James Olsen, and he's Jax. They got Melina in there. They got Hiroyuki Sanada, very famous Japanese character actor playing Hanzo Hasashi, aka the Scorpion, and Louis Tan still hasn't had his role revealed, and I'm really waiting for that. I'm really waiting to see who he's playing as well. And the movie, like you said, this movie really does look like there's going to have a lot of love and care crafted into it. And I'm very much, because I was thinking back to the OG Mortal Kombat movie back from '95, because MK11, as of this recording, has dropped character skins for Sonya, Johnny Cage, and Raiden based off of their '95 appearances, with accompany voice acting by their actors from that movie. And I just think back to that movie and how beloved that movie is on a cult classic level, and even on a general, in excitement level of things. So I'm very much like, okay, what can they do with this in Mortal Kombat? Because one of the major draws to Mortal Kombat isn't just the violence, but it's also the charm of it. The inherent charm of Mortal Kombat that is prevalent in the video games and the movies and whatnot. It's still got that nice little wink to the camera-esque about it, even with some of the more serious characters. So I wonder how they're going to do that, I wonder how they're going to do that with this movie and make it so cool. And I have 100% faith in the directorial group, the directors, the writers, the actors, everyone, stunt people, shout outs to them, the unsung heroes. Hopefully everyone is safe doing these dope ass stunts. I'm very much excited to see what's going to be happening, where they're going to draw inspiration from in the costumes. I want to know what your opinions on on the potential of those costumes, because they have such iconic looks. I really want them to lean into these dope character designs that you can imagine these characters wearing, whether it be traditional or an updated flavor.
I really think it's going to go back to traditional, because the key word that I keep seeing is source material, and I don't think the team would stray away from the source material. I really think that they will, stay true to the Mortal Kombat, franchise. I really think we're going to get those classic game skins. I really feel like we might get some updated, costumes, but I really feel like, because I keep seeing source material thrown out there between the team, I really think they're gonna really bring the costumes that we want to see to life. I really feel like everybody is going to be looking really nice and good. So I'm 100% sure that we are going to get some dope costumes in this movie.
Right, I agree. I agree. Now, and then and one more topic before we hop off, go to the next part. But one of the major things I always worry about with these adaptations that aren't, I'm not even gonna try to box it, just adaptations in general, is when there's a villain, but the villain is very much known throughout the series, but they choose to kill him off early. I know one of the not even major complaints really, but one of the complaints about Mortal Kombat, I want to say Scorpion's Revenge, that was the animated movie that recently came out, was that certain characters died in what was supposed to be essentially the retelling of Mortal Kombat 1 that don't necessarily die anytime soon or at all in the Mortal Kombat story. And I know obviously Warner Brothers and the crew are going to be wanting to make Mortal Kombat their next franchise. So is there any, I should ask, what are the things, would you be okay with a significant character dying in the movie way too early or something like that? We're gonna kill off Kung Lao or Shang Tsung or something like that, and you feel like they didn't get the mileage out of that, or do you think they're gonna just try to make the best movie and then all of the grunts are the ones who get fatalized, with the fatalities and the brutalities?
I see it in two different ways. I feel like if you kill off a significant character at the beginning, I feel like there will be consequences, and I feel like there will be reactions from that. not necessarily from fans, but I'm saying as in storyline. Because what if this franchise gets 3 movies? What can happen in the future if something happens in the first movie that is significant of a character being killed? But what if that person is brought back some way? Because Mortal Kombat you know, is a place that characters can come back. Look at Chronica messing with time and everything like that. So I really feel like it depends on how they want to set up their future. Yes, it would suck if a significant character get killed off, but that's the gambling of creating storylines, and that's the creating of a shock value as well. So I think for it would probably be shock value, and I also think it could also lead to potential, characters coming back, or things just leading up for or setting up for the future of the storyline. I love shock value, so no shade, bring it on.
Yeah, I gotta remember I'm talking to a Justice League Dark Apocalypse War fan. So yeah.
Yeah, I was here for it. I mean, because you never get to see stuff like that happens. You never get to see what happens. Significant characters die. Like, what is the consequence? What is the repercussions, or what is the map, and how do characters handle that? Like, what makes the development of the character, if somebody that significant is lost or killed, how will it affect the characters? I feel like that's storyline. I feel like that's character development, and I feel like that's tension between making more of the story.
True that. True that. True that. So, any final thoughts on that part? That little bit part and aspect of it.
No, I'm just super excited. Like I said, shout out to Greg Lucio. I'm 100% behind you and your team, and I'm super excited for what you have to offer to us next year. So, yeah, like I said, I'm ready to stand the movie as soon as we get promos and concept or art, and seeing who Louis Tan is really actually playing, because I honestly do not know who this guy could be playing. Like, I have ideas, but it's just like, who could he really be playing? Like, and I really like the fact that they have not said it, because that makes me feel like that it is a big role. So I'm kind of excited that they are keeping it under wraps. I am kind of excited that they're keeping like the trailer and everything, because it's making me more anticipate what might happen and what we might see. So I'm all for the suspenseful feels that I'm getting waiting for this movie.
Cool beans. Cool beans. Well, it's a my go, I should say. I guess this is. So, I'm going to talk about what I want to see moving forward as far as the video games are concerned. The bread and butter, the thing that keeps the light on at NetherRealm and whatnot. And personally, and this might be controversial to some, might be preaching to the choir on others, but I really don't want any more time travel aspects to the story. That's one of the things. I feel like it made sense to do in Mortal Kombat 9, the reboot in 2011, because that's what they were doing. They were rebooting the story from stage one, to streamline things, to add context to stuff that they barely scratched upon in the initial run, and just make things more digestible. And I feel like they succeeded greatly. I know people don't feel that way, and 9 years after the fact, soon to be 10. But personally, I feel like they accomplished. But I do not like how they've kind of used time travel as a crutch. I feel like MKX, in my opinion, was the best of the new timeline, next generation stories, because it really showed the potential of what you do when you're creating something new. Like, okay, all of the traditional heroes are more or less evil zombie revenants, and you now have characters that weren't heroic, or these brand new characters, or the children of these characters that are now the forefront. Let's run with that. I felt like that was the correct path. And MK11, even though I like the base story of the game, I feel like that I was not a fan of the time travel aspect, and that being it made sense. It made the story make sense, and it did open the realm up for multiverse with Mortal Kombat, which I felt was cool, but I felt like the payoff to all of that was very lacking with the way Mortal Kombat Aftermath was, because it essentially said, once again, use time travel for the second time in the same story and the third time overall to redo something that really just didn't need to happen. There's a lot better ways if you wanted to do a final showdown between Shang Tsung and Liu Kang rather than, basically retconning your brand new story just because, and then completely retconning your story again by, and this is spoilers for those who haven't played Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. Basically, there's two endings. One, Shang Tsung becomes evil Lord Supreme and whatnot, and I don't think that would be the direction they go with the next Mortal Kombat game, because that's once again doing time travel, and I don't feel like they're going to go back to that well for a fourth time. But the Liu Kang ending is basically him ensuring that the great Kung Lao, which was the first Earthrealm champion to fight on behalf of Earthrealm in Mortal Kombat, but ultimately lost to Goro, and basically establish him to be the hero and whatnot, which, if you know the lore, is like the genesis point. So, and again, Mortal Kombat 11, 12, could very much ignore all of that shit and just go, well, we're going to go with a third timeline where none of that stuff had to happen, and we're just going right back to it, which it would be fine. But I feel like I feel like there's a lot of stuff that storyline wise they could have touched on, that they, or at least laid the breadcrumbs for, that I wanted to see. Like, I want to see the return of Onaga, the Dragon King. I want to see, how they handle Taven, Dagon, and Blaze, and see if Armageddon is even necessary now for this new timeline and what have you. So I that's just one of those aspects. Mike, what are your thoughts on it?
I actually, I don't know. I like when it comes to the game storyline. I think I'm just open to it, because it was just, especially with the reboot and everything. It was great. I really just like the new generation of, our iconic characters having kids, and they have, they're in the tournament and fighting for their lives and everything like that. For me, the whole time travel thing, the time, going back in time, I think that was, I didn't expect them to do anything like that and go deeper into it. So I kind of, I was hip to it. I liked it, especially, Chronicle coming out and, doing what she did and everything. But I get everything that you're saying. If they were to come out with another game, I definitely would then want them to focus on the new generation. I would like to see more of new generation characters come out, and see how they can handle, the franchise even more. Like, what other consequences or what other trials and tribulations can they go through? Like, would one of those characters turn evil? Who could be the big bad villain in the new generation? That's what I would like to see. But Aftermath was really, I think, it always makes me think like, Earth 1, Earth 2, when they did that. So I look at, the first storyline as Earth 1, and then I think about the Aftermath as Earth 2. So I feel like it was necessary, or, it was just an alternate ending for us. So, I think for me, you can tell that Ed Boon and his team, they really, try to figure out what they can do for their fans and what they can do for the whole franchise itself. So I think they were just, testing to see what they could do, and, see, because I honestly wish they would drop another little, story like Aftermath, just because, we get all these downloadable characters and all these different things with the game. Like, if you can do Aftermath, what else could you do? Like, I would like to see them actually drop a little thing where it's almost like another story mode, but like I think it was Conquest, where you would go and you would go do all the different missions and stuff like that. I would like to see that actually be like something that they add to the game or something like that. And because I feel like if they can do Aftermath, I feel like they can add more content when it comes down to exploring the world of Mortal Kombat in the game. So that's my take.
Yeah, I just feel like it needs to be good. I agree. If they got the cake with the influx of characters, you know, Melina and Rain specifically, not holding my breath that any of the guest characters might be able to make it to the story mode, because for those who don't know, those guest characters are penciled in well in advance, probably before some of the mainstays are confirmed to be returning to video game fighting games. Like if you have a fighting game with a guest character and it's not even no, even if it's called Super Smash Brothers, those things generally tend to be from Jump Street well in advance, and it's just a very tedious process in the extension. So I'm not expecting Spawn or Rambo, RoboCop, Joker, or the such to be in a potential third story mode expansion or what have you. But I need it to be I need it to be good. I need it to be good. I need it to be something that they take the time and effort to craft. I don't want them to try to rush to meet demands or anything like that. That's why I would rather see this in an MK12 where they have the aspects of the story hammered out and they know what direction they want to go in. And like I feel like this one was too busy, and I feel like they that kind of hurt it in the long run, because there was, you could tell they wanted to do so much, but they couldn't do it. They like, well, not even couldn't do it, but some things probably got lost in translation, and I really wish they could have hammered some stuff out a little bit better. Like I keep going back to that, like, you know, bringing back certain characters, their motivations as far as being out of time and whatnot. That just feels like, what's the it 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 just feels, trying to find the words.
But
It
do you feel like it was? Do you feel like it was just? It was too much that they packed in, and it was just too much to unpack.
Yeah, I do feel like that. I feel like them trying to make this like the grandiose end game like Mortal Kombat didn't work out, and I'm gonna get into another aspect of that, why I feel that way. But I just want to ask you, Mike, like, what, what were your favorite parts about the story? So it's some balance to it.
No, I think in all, I think when you did the whole, when they dropped the whole, trailer about Aftermath, I was like, what? Like, you're gonna give me more? And I thought, I mean, like, I thought it was cool because I don't think has that ever happened in previous games, where you gave us an alternate storyline. So, I think that was one thing, because it was like, I feel like if you're gonna give us all these characters, if you're gonna give us all these downloadable characters and everything, what else can you do? And the fact that they dropped the Aftermath thing, I really didn't I thought that was cool, because it was another, like you said, it's another alternate storyline and everything like that. But at the same time, I wasn't expecting them to do that. Like I felt like that was like almost them trying to, like I said, not rebrand themselves, but just give us more of the game. Because I feel like we pay for these games, and once we beat the game and we grind on online and everything like that, getting your other stuff and everything like that. I feel like, what else can you do? So the fact that I think they did the Aftermath storyline, that was more just to go back and enjoy your story mode, because a lot of us pay a lot of money for these games, and I feel like that's just adding more value to your game. um I don't know what I like. I think that would be my favorite thing. 'Cause like I said, I wasn't expecting them to do Aftermath, so I think that is my favorite.
Yeah, and I just want to say, just for a clear, like, I have no problem with fighting games having a cool, complex story mode or an over-the-top story mode that has a lot of cool moving parts. I don't have a problem with that. It just felt like, and I've had this problem in actuality with a lot, with like a majority of the NetherRealm games. Well, yeah, since the advent of them going into NetherRealm and leaving the old MK behind, I have always felt like there have been aspects, even with Injustice, where certain story beats were lost in the shuffle. I feel like Injustice 1 is the only exception, because like for me, a lot of that story was very straightforward, and there wasn't a lot of pieces where you feel like some stuff was missing. I did feel that way with MKX. Definitely felt that way with Injustice 2 to an extent. And MK11, while I didn't feel like they missed pieces, I feel like those pieces were like barely fitting together in a way where I was left completely satisfied. I wouldn't have said, and I will say attribute that to Aftermath. But another aspect I want to just to go on to my next thing, so I'm not droning on 30 years about this, but I really want the gameplay to be funner with MK11, with MK12. I feel like, and this is by design, that MK11 was too competitive, tournament focused for my taste. I didn't like how a lot of the crazy, cool, off the wall combos you could do in Mortal Kombat 9 and in MKX, it was intentionally taken out of for Mortal Kombat 11. And I know NetherRealm have taken strides to make it more palatable for the more crazy minded individuals. The reason why they did it was partly because tournament, partly because they thought simplifying it would make the player base grow more than before, but it just hasn't translated well enough for me personally. And I'm not saying make it like some of these Japanese created fighting games that like your Tekkens or Street Fighters, to an extent, not even Street Fighter, King of Fighters rather, where it's a lot of buttons you need to press and the timing is very specific. I'm definitely not saying that, because that certainly is not everyone's cup of tea, but I would like it to be, if I could categorize it, I want MK11 to be fun to play, hard to master. Like if you can, like you can come in there and just mash buttons and you can still see cool stuff, more like a variety of cool stuff. In MK11, some of these characters ain't got a lot of cool shit to do on a consistent basis. You find yourself looking at the same things over and over and over again. The gameplay loop can become very boring when you play for extended periods of time, almost like they're encouraging you not to be invested in this game on a consistent level, which is why their tower system is so very, like, almost like they don't, like, they give you so many augments and make the CPU so hard that you're doing the external stuff rather than trying to do combos on these characters. And it's just not like, and you have your exceptions to the rule as per the case on many things, but generally you're not going to be experiencing that type of feeling in MK11 like I like in MKX. Because in MKX I can hop on those towers all day and pick my favorite character and do cool stuff and not have to worry about, oh man, did I equip this augment and that'll stop this cheap stuff from happening, or oh, is this thing gonna punish me and you know he's gonna just keep doing it because it's really good, or man, am I gonna get bored looking at the same three moves that are good and that they encourage me to do. I want them to add variety back into Mortal Kombat because I really feel like they took that out. And I feel like with the presentation, which has only gotten better with each game, I feel like that has consistently rose, but I feel like the gameplay has been suffering. So I want, because I believe they can do it, I want NetherRealm to prioritize fun and innovation with their presentation, not sacrifice one for the other. And it looks like they constantly sacrifice the fun factor for the presentation factor. Mike, do you agree?
You know, when it comes to fighting games or when it comes to games, you know, I really did not get into mechanics like that until like what, maybe what it's, I mean, with this whole new reboot of the game and everything, that's when I really started paying attention to the mechanics of the game. And actually, because when I started playing online, I was getting my tail whomped on, and my cousin, he's very big on Mortal Kombat. He has Xbox, and I mean, he grinds hard to learn his mechanics and his combos. And he was like, you really need to start getting into combos with your favorite characters, because he said it would take your play with your characters to another level. Because I mean, I was the guy that was just, you know, square, 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 triangle, X, kick, throw a little special move out, and I would still be able to win. But when I really started digging into combos and stuff like that, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So for me, I mean, because I really didn't pay attention to mechanics. I'm really mean, all I've played my life is fighting games and a couple of adventure games, and I want to get better at gaming by, trying to step outside the box and play other games and everything like that. But I really, I understand what you're saying, because I mean, I do feel like this last Mortal Kombat, it was focused on like, tournament and competitive, but I just really think that shit comes from the growth of, the gaming experience, and then people who are really into that whole competitive thing, and trying to be the best at whatever characters they are and try to master them. Um, so for me, it's just like, because like I said, I'm not very competitive when it comes to fighting games. I like to play for fun and just play. And like I said, I think this last couple of games really taught me how to dig deep into combos and everything. So, but I understand what you were saying, because I mean, watching gameplay on YouTube and just watching people be competitively going at it with each other, and it's fun to watch. So especially when it's me, when I know my skills are not really up to par like that. So
Let's say I totally agree with that part, because I was like, I was truthfully like, okay, it's cool that they're trying to make the FGC more prominent and whatnot, man, focusing the game around that, because for years, quick little aside, the NetherRealm / Mortal Kombat fighting games used to have a negative stigma in the FGC core, FGC competitive wise. A lot of major tourneys outside of your CEOs and your, what's the Chicago one? Yeah, CEO, I think, is the Chicago based one. And another tournament in Florida. Those, wait. It's on the tip of my tongue. It'll flash up on the screen as I'm talking about it now. But they were the ones that were, giving Mortal Kombat a chance, where a lot of other tourneys weren't. And I can understand the developers need to try to keep that scene alive, but there's a way to do that, and there's a way to not do that. Like, you can't just go all in. You have to remember, at the end of the day, while your game is going to be played at a competitive level, you still have to make it fun for when people don't want to play it at a competitive level. Do stuff, put stuff in there that might be broken, might be crazy, but just do it to, because it's fun, and just, if somebody does it in tournament play, it's going to be hype, and shout outs to Maximilian Dude while I'm talking about fighting game stuff, because that guy definitely re-sparked it in my soul, my love of fighting games and everything. So shout outs to the dude, big homie dude. But yeah, like, that's basically my crux of everything. I want the story to be a little bit more streamlined moving forward, with taking advantage of the stuff they've sprinkled into the story, and some stuff that they have yet to touch on that's still relevant. Doesn't have to be end game. I am perfectly fine with a Winter Soldier, with a Wonder Woman style, Mortal Kombat story, where it's still got significant stakes, but it ain't too big, where there's a lot of moving parts and everything. And I just want the gameplay to be a tad bit fun and a lot more combos. So yeah. Now we're gonna wrap everything up by just generally talking about, other superfluous stuff we would like to see in Mortal Kombat. Mike, you got anything? We can go back and forth.
You know what? I would like another animated movie, because I did enjoy Scorpion's Revenge. I would like another animated movie. As far as the game, bring back combat chess, or do some mini games, like some Mario Party style mini games. That would be dope to see. Pick your character, and that would be kind of fun. Like, test your luck or might, and like amp it up a little bit. I would love to see Mortal Kombat mini games based like Mario Party. I think that would be hilarious, and like, if you lose, you either it's a fatality or happen or something like that. I think that would kind of be cool, like, for future games.
I definitely want them to bring back Combat Racing, Combat KART, the little mini game from Mortal Kombat Armageddon. That was dope. That was dope, and I really want that to bring back, so I can kick your butt in that, just like how I kick your butt in general Mario Kart.
Okay. let's
Mm,
not talk about that. So you trying to be funny? Nope, let's not do that.
man, I could, the
We'll
comedy is
see.
based in lies.
We'll
This was the
see.
truth.
We'll see. Okay.
Me personally.
Um.
Oh, you still got to
Well,
get.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say more. I've said this. I've said this a bunch of times. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks remake, or straight up, or just a sequel. In like, we need more Devil May Cry style games. You know, OG God of War style games where it's a beat 'em up. You get launch them and combos and stuff like that. It doesn't need to be a Souls type game. It doesn't need to be, like a Tomb Raider. Just make it like how Devil May Cry 5 was. That's a perfect example. Keeping that spirit, having a wide variety of characters. I'll even say it like this. They should go ahead and since, just set this, Shaolin Monks 1 was set in a different timeline. Just set MK Shaolin Monks 2, set that in the current timeline. Or, better yet, call it something else. Call it Mortal Kombat Special Forces and have it set around the combat kids. Jackie and Cassie being the main characters, like a goofball buddy comedy, and just have them kicking ass and taking names and whatnot. And have unlockable characters like Johnny Cage, Sonya, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, people of that nature. And that's what I want. I feel like that would be awesome. That would be a fun story to flesh out these new characters. Just a lot of cool shit. And make Sindel a hero again. That really, I'm not as bent out of shape as some people who talk about Sindel's new characterization in MK11 are. But I definitely say that Sindel was a character that really had a compelling backstory as a hero, and it does seem fairly lazy, the reasoning and the characterization of her now, making her a generic woman villainess when she was when she had such a complex backstory that had yet to be tapped into, that people were very much behind. And just there's not a lot of OP women heroes in Mortal Kombat. You got your Sonyas, your Cassies, your kinda sortas with, you got your Katanas and Jades, and then you got your kinda sorta heroic characters like Ashura that isn't in the game anymore, like hasn't showed up, or stuff like that. And then the rest are villains. So I feel like, why can't Sindel be one of the heavy hitters on the side of good and be a lady? Why just reduce her to some Emma Frost knockoff but bad? Like I feel like that was a major misfire, and I feel like just go ahead and retcon it back to the OG story, give her some agency, and just do it like that. There's a reason why, like I always say this, with the exception of a couple of obviously stupid things, there's reasons why when fictional characters get changed and people have a problem with it. Now it's incumbent on the writers to make it compelling, but I don't feel like they did that. And in my opinion, I feel like they just turned Sindel into Emma Frost but bad, and I feel like she deserves her own characterization, which she had. So that's just my opinion, my onion. Go ahead, say I was being shady.
No, I just feel like, I feel like, I like, I've always liked Citadel, and, I like a little evil sorceress. So, I live for it.
Well, like
I
Christina
like
from Lovecraft Country.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course. I would like to see them, like, race, if they're gonna continue and another game comes out, but I really hope they pause because I'm ready for Injustice 3. But I would like to see them raise the stakes. I want some plot twists, and I want some I don't want to say significant major character die, but I want some plot twists. I want some shock factor, some shock value. I want something to really, really happen and shake the table, and see our beloved characters, handle that, and see, how would they react, and how can they take this and, develop themselves throughout whatever storyline that is placed in front of them. So I would like to see some shock value from the next game, storyline wise.
They always got shock value in these games. But you saying you want it more. You
I
want it
do. I want
more.
more. I want more. Like,
More.
yeah, I want more. But I mean, makes me want to play. But yeah, I think the franchise itself with the game, I really think I think they've done a great job. I really do, and I think it will be awesome to see what else they can do. So we just have to be patient because I really want them to go ahead and start. If they haven't already started, I want them to go ahead and start doing Injustice 3 because I want more of that, and I would like Batgirl to come back.
I still need Lord Dragon to be a guest character for that.
That'd be dope.
I need that to happen expeditiously. They screwed me by not having a Power Ranger in Injustice 2, which I felt like they could have did. But since it's evil characters, go on, give me that Lord Dragon for your boy. Go ahead and put evil Tommy to fight evil Superman. But in any case, this has been your boy Quamon Star G and Mike. And Mike, tell these beautiful people where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at _oddgeek, and also I have a podcast with one of the good bros, Aaron, and we're talking about Lovecraft Country. If you haven't watched the show, check it out and then follow along with us as we break down each episode. And you can find us on Twitter at LCB and also you can see us behind the mics on our YouTube channel at 2 Lovecraft and Bat. Appreciate you for inviting me again, Q. This was fun. I hope we get to do some more things. So yeah, I enjoy breaking down Mortal Kombat and talking about our favorite things with this game franchise.
Same. But in any case, the pleasure was all mine. I'm so glad we were able to collaborate on this, and we got some more stuff down the pipeline. But we gonna let them guesstimate what that is. But in any case, this has been your boy Quamon Star G. Thank you all for watching us talk about Mortal Kombat. And per the usual, we will see you later. Say peace, Mike.
Peace out, people.